Yeah, let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's do it. Come on. Let's go. Do it. Come on. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? I'm back again. NIT is right here. We have the Final Four. We're going to be hitting it here hard and heavy today. We're going to be getting here. If you don't know the show, this is the first time being there. This is the Breakin Ankles show. I'm the host of the most, the Point Guard podcast, and the absolute CBB GO himself. Well, at least for the regular season, the tournament has been absolute dog trash for me. Laugh at that one. But we're going to get it back here. We're going to get right. We're going to get it here tonight with a little bit of NIT. If there's anything that I've been doing at least exceptionally well or well at all, the NIT has been very good to me. I haven't posted every single play because I've been out. I've been doing it kind of like on my own personally, putting a pick here and there. But I think on this side of the fence, I think we're going to be looking at a couple plays here for the Final Four. Playing in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's going to be a fun time here. And then Sox Nation always joining us here. Says, let's go Utah. Looking for Utah. They are undefeated non-conference on the road. I mean, that is true, but they haven't really played many non-conference teams on the road this season. Sox Nation says Georgia wins outright. All right, he's already got his picks in. Well, let's talk about my sides and what I'm going to be looking at here. So we got to go start with the first game that's going to be tipping off here at 7 p.m., 45 minutes from now. Utah versus Indiana State, Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana is the spot. 7 p.m. is the tip. Let's talk about where these two teams come from. Really, with Indiana State, their strength is their offensive production. They're 16th in offensive efficiency, first in field goal percentage, second in free throw percentage. But both of those numbers are somewhat a little bit inflated, a little bit misleading because the best team that they saw on the defensive side in conference is 63rd in defensive efficiency, and they only saw one team in the top 10 in defensive efficiency, and that was Michigan State losing that game and only scoring 75 points. So that's going to be key to where we're going in this direction into this game. Now, Utah has got one of the top 40 defenses in the country. They're 36th in defensive efficiency, 63rd in defensive shots, 53rd in defensive rebounding, 24th in offensive, allowing opponents to the free throw line. So you have a situation here with the Utah defense kind of matches up and plays into what Indiana State wants to do. However, you saw what they did to Cincinnati. Cincinnati couldn't hold them back, but that was on their home court. This is a whole different situation. We're playing neutral floors now. So I think a lot of these teams have been playing home, like all the way through this tournament, maybe struggling here to get to the neutral floor. Then you got to look at Utah. Is ranked 46 in offensive scoring, but that's more primarily towards their production at home. They put up 84.2 points per game at home. Away from their own home court, they only put up 72.1 points per game of offense. Utah is also 5-12 straight up on neutral and away floors altogether this season. That's 17 instances. Indiana State considered more of an over team for the most part. But when they're a favorite of between 3 and 7 points, which they are here in this spot, they're 7-2 and to the under in those situations in 9 situations. Also got to look at Utah 5-2 to the under as a dog of less than 5 points. So that is another consideration here. And also the under is 5-1 when the total is above 159 points in Indiana State games. They haven't gotten the over when it's been above that precipice, that plateau. And both of these teams, you got to look with the situation they're coming from, right? They haven't played a game in a week. And both of these teams have played 3 straight home games in this tournament. So you got to look at the situation that they really haven't had a true road game or even like traveled outside of their own gym in quite some time, maybe like anywhere between 3 weeks to a month. So there should be some rust factor in there, playing in a different gym. Also playing with the extra rest as well. I'm looking at this more from the total side. I think this is going to be an underplay for me. You're already seeing the line going in that direction in this situation. I told you these guys have just played nothing but home games, which is what they want to do in those spots. Now they're going to go play in a neutral court, neutral floor. I think there's going to be a little bit of rust factor, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I would even say probably looking at an under in the first half as well, but I'm just going to stick to the one play for now. Give me Utah and Indiana State under the 162.5, 2-unit banger across the bow, hit the gun. And considering that Indiana, I think this is going to be feeling like a home game for Indiana State as well, playing in Hinkle Fieldhouse, Indianapolis, Indiana. That's a tough spot, especially when you look at Utah. Utah on the road, absolutely abysmal. Granted, a lot of those occurrences were in conference type of situations on the road. It's nothing I want to take on a side on this one, so I'm just going to stick to the total and play the under on those spots. Now, let's get to the second game. Georgia versus Seton Hall. Going to be the second game on the board here at Hinkle Fieldhouse, Indianapolis, Indiana, 9:30 p.m. tip. And I'm liking the dog. The dogs are playing here. The dogs are barking. This UGA team is thumping. Give me Georgia here, plus 4.5, 2-unit play. Let's talk about it. All right. The game here to me, looking at both sides of the ball, the offensive and defensive side, I think it's going to be decided with the Seton Hall offense versus this Georgia defense. Seton Hall's offense is 74th in offensive efficiency, 192nd in field goal percentage. They're 295th at turnover percentage, so they do give up the ball a lot. They're 19th in offensive rebounding, second chance opportunities is their strength, and they're 16th on the free throw line. Georgia, on the other hand, defensively, 51st in defensive efficiency, 129th defending shots, 238th in defensive rebounds, 99th in allowing opponents to the free throw line. So I think with this Georgia defense, especially the way they've been playing well on the road, always as an underdog, they've seemed to have been stepping up in these situations. You saw it with Wake Forest. You saw it with Ohio State. They're going into these gyms that typically Wake Forest has owned everybody in that gym this season. And I would say the same thing, at least the late half of the season with Ohio State. It's been the same type of scenario, and Georgia has gotten the job done. When you split them up in the offensive defensive splits here, you got to look at Seton Hall night and day versus out of their home gym. If you haven't seen their home gym, it's impossible to play in. It's just a giant box with the elevations and everybody just looking over you. Very tough place to play. It's actually a tough place to watch games as well, even on TV. You see they have an advantage there, especially in their home gym. They average. On their road gym, they average 66.9 points per game of offensive scoring, but at home they average 78.92 points per game. So it's a huge advantage for them to play at home, and it's been a huge advantage this whole entire NIT tournament for them to play in their home gym. Now you're getting away from that. Then on the defensive side, they give up 74.5 points per game in non-home games, then 63.3 points per game at home. So there's a difference there, night and day, offensively and defensively. But when you look at the Georgia side and compare their stats, offensive, defensively, whether it's home or away, there's really like 1 or 2 point difference on both sides. So really for Georgia, they excel in both type of situations, probably more so on the road side than on the home side. Then you got to look at Seton Hall, 4-7 ATS and true road games, 1-3 ATS and neutral floors as well. You got to look, and then you got to look at Georgia. Georgia playing on the road, very exceptional. 11-1 ATS and true road games this season. They're 2-0 ATS when they played on neutral floors in the SEC tournament. So I'm looking at them late season on this one too. This team is just cooking and covering spreads at the right time late in March. Actually, we're in April now, so it's carrying over into the next month. I just think UGA is more tested in this spot as well. They had to go travel to all these spots to get to the position they're in, so they're already used to the travel. They went to Wake Forest, won outright. Went to Ohio State, won outright. Back-to-back road games, both tough places to play. And then they get into a position versus this Seton Hall team that has only had one game in the past month away from their home court. Only one. And that was in that tournament game versus St. John's where they lost by 19 points. So really the Seton Hall team away from their own gym struggles against virtually anybody. And you're playing a hot team like this Georgia squad right now. I think this is Georgia all day long. I think Georgia gets it done. You might as well sprinkle on the money line. I think it's at plus 172, 175, depending on what books you get it at. I'm going to go UGA on this one, but I'm going to only go with the spread, plus 4.5. I got it at MGM this afternoon. 2-unit special. That's my best bet, I think. It's going to be Georgia plus 4.5, 2-unit banger, baby. So those are the two games. Those are the games that pay. Is like, yes, I was aware of that, Sox Nation. That was what I was talking about, is that one road game that they had, St. Mary's. They did get it done there, non-conference. Some of the neutral floor games, I don't think they played that well. So I'm a little bit hesitant on this Utah team altogether, especially when you saw them in February, in March, outside of their own gym. Tough place to play. I could say the same thing about Indiana State. That's why I'm kind of sticking with the under on this one, because I think both teams are going to have a sloppy type of situation here in this NIT tournament, at least to start. So to recap for you guys that missed it, before I do that, like and subscribe to the GunzPicks channel on YouTube. All the content is going to be coming up there. I'm going to do a Final Four breakdown later in the week. I'm probably going to do it on Saturday before tip-off. So you have those as well. It's been a cold tournament. It's been one of the worst tournaments I've had in 5 years. I don't understand it. Up is down, left is right. Whatever. It is what it is. I will still give you the analysis. I will still give you the picks, and you can do whatever you want with them. Tail them, fade them, whatever. Just been a rough tournament for me. To recap, though, on the NIT side, let's go under on the Utah and Indiana State game, 162.5. That's 2-unit special. And then on the next game, we're going to go with the doggy on this one, Georgia, the Bulldogs, plus 4.5, 2-unit special. And those are the plays today. Thanks for joining us here, all you guys. That makes 2 of us. It's just been a rough one. I think it's been a rough for a lot of people. A lot of cappers I've been talking to, we're just scratching our heads, looking at each other. It's like, have you seen a tournament like this? I was like, usually the tournament is where I make a lot of, you heap up the cash so you can get ready for football season. That's kind of what it is. You take the summers off. You maybe drink a couple pina coladas or whatever you drink, in a couple bevies outside your sunroom, and then you just wait till September. But, little hit in the pocket this year. I don't know what it is. And I think the books are feeling it too. I've been reading some articles about that. But anyways, I digress. Can't complain anymore. Let's catch these tickets tonight with the under first game and UGA plus 4.5. I'll be back, like I said, Saturday for the Final Four picks. And if this championship game comes up, I'll be back with an NIT pick as well on whoever comes out of this victorious. So good luck with your bets. Let's cash some tickets. Let's dominate the board. And as always, let's keep dancing. Goodbye. Oh, wrong one.